Hello, friends and beautiful people. We are in the high tunnel today. We're excited. I was feeling like a slug and I needed to get my hands in the dirt. It's still a little too soon to start planting, but it's not too soon to start planting. And like I've said in some of my previous videos, it is there's always something you can be working on. So I'm going to unshamefully show you what a mess this place is. I'm going to do some cleaning out here today and get ready for planting season so I can start my seeds. So let's just give you a little tour of the high tunnel and how this works. All right, so, and this is the small one. We have, these are cedar. We had bought a skid of cedar planks or whatever you want to call them. And we put them in here. This is the one small bed. The rest of them are all 4x8. And this is my orange tree that I just left out here. I don't have the time nor the inclination for houseplants. My house is where houseplants come to die. So that was a lettuce that we had let go to seed. And now we're going to end up with lettuce on the ground all down there because I didn't get it taken care of. This is, someone had asked me about ground cherries, and this is what you run into with ground cherries is all of these, and they'll all go to seed. So if you'll see, sorry, I didn't mean to make you dizzy. Right here, I have raked them all up, and I'm going to get as many of those out of there as I can because those boogers will volunteer everywhere. So what we've got is down through here, we have got 4 raised beds. That is a fig tree that needs trimmed, and that is what's left, of Seymour. I got some of him taken out enough to get in, but as you can see, there's still a little bit of him that's up too high for me to pull. Then what Hubs did, and there's another fig right there. The water spigot, the electric is there, and then 4 more beds. Then Hubs built me, so I used to put down the middle, I would put those white tables and start my seeds and put them on there, and I ran out of room, and so then I would pile them on the ground, like behind the beds, in between the beds, right in there, and then back there, and I was literally Houdini trying to get in and around, and I felt like a contortionist trying to get everything watered. So Hubs designed these, and it's, super high tech. Basically all he did was put some boards across there and put the hardware cloth on there, and then as I start them, each one holds, each area in between the aluminum posts holds 5, and it goes down both sides. So I'm able to start a lot of seeds. Here's one problem you'll have when you have a high tunnel, and evidently someone has scurried off with a piece of popcorn and was able to get out of there before we got him. So I hope he enjoyed his dinner. These are the ones I didn't get cleaned out. And then I have some, these are just some old restaurant shelving that I have. I keep my fish emulsion on there, some of my pots. And then I got a bucket full of tools. That's the one I drag out to the garden with me. I'm good to go there. This is my potting area, and it's a mess. This is what, this and this table here are what get destroyed by the end of every garden seasoning, and then I'm ashamed to bring anybody out here. So I mix up a mixture here, and then I will put it in the trays. So I have, down below, I store the new cell packs and the new black trays. I get them from Greenhouse Megastore. Honestly, it's cheaper to just go ahead and bite the bullet, even if you won't use them all at once, and buy them in bulk than it is to play around with buying, a couple here and there. Here's our blueberries that we got to plant this year. These are, this was a butterfly bush, and then some, I think these are Rudbeckia. And then here are some of the birdhouse gourds that we had saved from last year. So what we'll need to do is we'll have to get these. We'll drill out a hole, take the seeds out, linseed oil them, or we've actually got some stuck back that the grands are going to paint for Nana. And then here's the shameful part. This is where you first come in the door, so this is where everything gets all messy. Now, if you'll notice, those gourds are nice and dry. These gourds getting a little bit of mold on them. I think they'll be okay because it's not going through. But these haven't been exposed to straight sun the way those have. And that's because I've got all this other stuff in the way on this table. And if you're not careful, this is what will happen. And this one's all squishy and mushy, and I mean, you can see he's not going to be a friend this year. And that's some seeds that a friend is supposed to pick up. She left those here last year. And then we got some rope. That was to fix the trailer with, my little thing. This needs put on the shelf. My clamps. I got some sawdust down here. I have some wood ash down there, and coffee grounds are here. Now what we did do was we had emptied a lot of that before, when we were when we had the house on the market. And you know, last thing you want is for somebody to come out the back door and see a 5-gallon bucket of compost. It's not the best sight. So we're going to go back to saving that, even though we are still moving. A little update on the Amish farm. Last weekend, we drove down there, and in my mind, it was more of a, it was more of a, in our hearts, either saying we still want to do this because it's still for sale, or it was our saying goodbye. And we went to the Amish bakery down there and had just a great time eating. Wait, these donuts they had were the size of a dinner plate. They were called wagon wheels. So if you picture the biggest glazed donut you've ever seen in your life, that's what this was. So we sugar buzzed, and we just thought we would drive by the house one more time. And Cousin Willie was there and his kids, so we couldn't not stop. And he was telling us that there was another couple that was going to put an offer in on it, and that had been a week and a half before. But he quoted them an outrageous price for, he has a piece of property that is adjoining it, and it has a monster-sized barn on it. And Hubs envisions himself buying that and using that for his aquaponics, because it's already got the concrete floor. He can fit all those new tanks that I got him in there. And it just, again, it all just seems to be falling into place. There you go. Riley Rooster says hello. So we went down and talked to him for a little bit, and they never did put the offer in. So while we were driving home, a friend messaged me and said, hey, I have a friend who's a realtor, and she's getting ready to list this property if you want to see it before she puts it on the MLS. So we went out there in the middle of a snowstorm to see this other property, and we were so excited by the video and the pictures that we had seen of this other property that we were literally, as we're driving out there, figuring out the financial side of it. We had enough to pay cash for the farm, and then it didn't have a barn. So we were on the phone with my brother from another mother. We're figuring out how many days it's going to take to put up a barn, you know, how much it's going to cost. What if we did this? What if we did that? And then we already knew we were going to have to add on to the kitchen because it was a very small house, which, you know, we don't mind. And then we pulled in the drive. And so this thing also has a little log cabin on it. So we thought, well, maybe, you know, with Cousin Willie saying these other people have talked about putting an offer in, maybe this is a sign. So we drive out there. This thing is sitting on the road. When I say it's sitting on the road, I mean, when you come out the front door, there is 3 foot, and then there's a main road. So we pulled in, and I just looked at Hubs, and I said, nope, it's a nope. And we went in and looked at it anyway, and the entire house if you can picture a hotel room that is one of the ensuite rooms that has like the little tiny living room with it too, that's the size of this house, which I was fine with. We just figured we would have to add on to the kitchen. Nope. The kitchen backs into a mountain. And there's free gas, which was another thing that we were excited about. But the gas line is laying on the ground, going up the hill to another place. And then it's just kind of laying on the ground coming into the house. Huge red flag. And then the log cabin was really cute, and it just, you walk in and you just go back to that time, and it was super adorable. But the log cabin was on one side of the road, this place was on the other side of the road. And then we noticed that although the pictures of the home were beautiful, it had been redone. All of the flooring was starting to pop up because they didn't, on a floating floor you have to leave a little bit on the edges for heat and moisture and contracting, and nope, they didn't do that. And so there were big ripples of the floor making a giant upside down V going all through there, and you were afraid to step on it. You were afraid you'd pinch your feet, because we always take our shoes off when we go into look at houses. So that was a big no. And then we went and looked at another place that Mama was interested in. That was kind of a weird thing. And that's probably a video for another day. But let me just say that something you never think about, we didn't. My mama is very independent. She says she's going to outlive us. She's going to live to be 100. And once her kids moved out, they were never moving back in. We've been told that since we were in high school. And she hinted around about us living together. And that just took me aback. So when she wanted to see this place, we went with her. And it's being used as an Airbnb now. The setting was absolutely checking every single one of our boxes. It wasn't a place that Hubs and I could afford, but there was, it was set up nicely for an Airbnb. It just wasn't set up nicely to live in. So that was a no. So the Amish farm's looking better all the time, and there's still no offer on it. So if it's still for sale, I will tell you, we are still going to go put another offer on it and see if they're willing to ride this train with us again, but we'll see. Until then, I just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still going to have to start seeds because I'm going to have a garden somewhere. Still need to feed my family. And I think I need to get to work. So let me get going on cleaning up on the high tunnel. And if I get enough done, I'll actually post a picture for you and let you see how much we got done. But friends, I just want to encourage you, even on a day like this when it is, I think 35 outside, it's actually 60 in here in the high tunnel. And if the sun comes up a whole lot, I'm probably going to have to go change out of this sweatshirt into a t-shirt. That's just the way it is out here. But it's my way of just poking the bear a little bit and actually getting little giggles from being able to be in here and have my hands in dirt while it's freezing outside. Till next time, friends, be blessed and be a blessing.